Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Moving day prompts a profound kiss for Xander and Sarah while Stefan and Ava's lip lock fills an alternate need. Xander moves the remainder of Sarah's many boxes into his condo. Remaining in the midst of the bedlam, Xander proposes they consolidate a smidgen. In any case, he will not leave behind his kilt trunk, and she recoils from disposing of her little persons. Sarah suggests that they store anything that isn't needed right away at Maggie's as a compromise. Trip and Wendy attend a Johnson family dinner at Steve and Kayla's house. Everett calls Stephanie to invite her to eat while the family gets ready. Instead, she invites him over. On the telephone with Gabby at the bistro, Stefan lies that all is well there. What she's recognizing in his voice is that he misses her. Subsequent to hanging up, he irately cries for Ava. On the shipping bay, Harris lets Ava know how stressed he is over her. He prevents her from returning inside, imploring her to allow him to help. At the point when she takes note of how cold it is, he puts his dark cowhide coat around her shoulders. She scolds him for breaking into her house, even though their closeness affects them both. When he again prevents her from leaving, she inquires, "What is it that you need, investigator?" He gives her his identification. This moment, he's simply a man who really focuses profoundly on her. More, Peter Reckle honors Bill Hayes. Gone to leave the shipping bay, Ava peers down at Harris's hand grasping her lower arm. Steve is quietly informed about Trip's identity when Everett arrives for dinner. While every other person gets some R&R in the kitchen, Steve defensively respects Everett close to the table. "I comprehend you knew my girl in Seattle." As they sit to eat, Steve prompts Everett to let them know how he and Stephanie met. The exes relate meeting at a cafe. Steve notes they had no clue Stephanie was in any event, seeing somebody, and inquires as to whether Everett moved to Salem to accompany Stephanie. Is the couple back together? "Wow," Stephanie shouts, humiliated. At the loft, Sarah prevents Xander from diving into a case. At the point when he asks what it is, she hesitantly lets it be notes brimming with knickknacks and keepsakes from when they were together. He dives in and finds his quaich, a two-handled cup used by newlyweds for their first drink together. He was trusting they could drink from it at their wedding, however he was unable to track down it. At the point when Xander finds their wedding photograph, Sarah rapidly gets together the container, assigning it for capacity. More, is Days expressing farewell to these three characters? As they each grasp a side of a double-handled cup, Sarah smiles broadly at Xander. He wears a pale cap. On the dock, Harris says he understands what's going on of late isn't Ava. She demands it's who she's been all along, he simply didn't see it previously. Harris doesn't trust that. He generally felt the positive qualities in her, the adoring, caring individual she is. He still sees that person. He goes in for a kiss, yet Stefan's enraged presence intrudes. Stefan grabs Ava by the arm and drags her back inside after she returns Harris's jacket. At the Johnsons, Everett makes sense of they aren't back together on the grounds that Stephanie just needs companionship. Steve further humiliates his girl by inquiring as to whether he needs more. Unbothered, Everett says he regards Stephanie's sentiments with regards to this issue. He's only appreciative for her kinship. Trip separates the ponderousness by making sense of a geocache forager chase he and Wendy need to attempt in Salem. Everybody jumps aboard with plans for a cause occasion. Trip proposes they plan it for Valentine's Day. More, AGT maker dead at 32. At a round table, close to the Johnsons' open kitchen, Kayla respects Everett opposite her. Steve dives into his plate of food and Stephanie grins, sitting between her dad and Everett. At the condo, Sarah needs Xander's shoulder, which is sore from moving. Subsequent to evenly dividing flatmate tasks, Sarah proposes they get to bed before their little girl awakens at daybreak. Xander prevents her from leaving and maneuvers her into an enthusiastic kiss. At the point when she pulls back, they concur they're in a decent spot and don't have any desire to wreck it. They'll simply zero in on being great guardians and give a valiant effort for Victoria. They longingly take a gander at one another as they wish each other good night. Harris rushes into the bistro, blaming Stefan for attacking Ava. Because he can safeguard Ava, he urges her to join him. Stefan says the main thing left is so that Harris could see this. He dunks Ava into a kiss. Ava obliges the cover that she and Stefan are taking part in an extramarital entanglements. Harris trusts the following time he sees Ava, it's not in a correctional facility. After he leaves, Ava shouts at Stefan for kissing her. Stefan guarantees her it was in support of show. She's mindful, yet it was excessive. He arranges her to remain the damnation away from Harris, or he will cover them both. After he stomps out, a shook Ava drinks alcohol directly from the container. More, Christina Applegate's acting presentation on Days. In the bistro, Stefan holds the rear of Ava's head as he strongly kisses her. One of Ava's arms folds over his midsection while different circles his neck. Everybody at the Johnsons intend to refocus later to examine geocache subtleties. As Steve gets Wendy a doggy sack to bring back home, he tells her how blissful he and Kayla are that Tripp found somebody he cherishes who loves him as well. At the table, Everett recommends he and Stephanie collaborate on the expedition. She'll guarantee Steve doesn't let her know every one of the fortunes are, since he's on treasure obligation, so they can flip around this town. Next on Days of Our Lives, Johnny needs to do right by Chanel, and the hunt is on for Teresa. Stefan's admonition, Johnson family time, Sarah and Xander reconnect. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, January 17th uncover that Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, gets an admonition. The Johnson family will take a couple of seconds to get to know each other. Sarah Horton, Lindsay Godfrey, has moved in with Xander Cook, Paul Telfer, and their little girl, and the couple will reconnect. Stefan Demera issues an admonition. Days of Our Lives spoilers demonstrate that Harris will corner Ava Vitali, Tamara Braun, on the shipping bay at the bistro. Harris realizes that Ava is in a tough situation and he accepts Stefan is capable. Sadly, Ava isn't willing to put her child's life in extreme danger by trusting in Harris. Ava and Harris will probably get clearly enough for Stefan Demera, Brandon Barish, to catch wind of. Harris is simply attempting to go about his business and get these medications off the roads before any other individual passes on as a result of them. Nonetheless, Stefan will give an extremely perilous admonition to Harris to attempt to inspire him to withdraw. Will Harris stand by listening to Stefan, or will he push max throttle forward? By disregarding Stefan's warning, is Harris putting his life in danger? DOL spoilers, Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, and Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, will decide to take a break and invite their family over for dinner and the Johnson family gets together. The family rarely gets a chance to get together in Salem because of the high level of activity there. Tripp Johnson, Lucas Adams, Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, and Wendy Shin, Victoria Grace, have all agreed to attend dinner. Since Stephanie is focused on Everett Lynch, Blake Barris, she may be a little distracted. Everett and Stephanie, after all, appear to be getting closer all the time. DOL spoilers update Wednesday, January 17th, Everett acknowledged that he came to Salem to win Stephanie back. Stefan's warning, Johnson family time, Sarah and Xander reconnect notwithstanding, what is he going to do when he finds that his ex, Jada Tracker, Elia Cantu, lives in Salem as well? Days of Our Lives spoilers, Sarah has accepted Xander's offer to move into his apartment with their daughter so that the three of them can be a real family. Xander Cook and Sarah Horton play house. They will spend some quality time getting back to know each other and spending time with their baby girl now that the baby and Sarah have settled in. Having Sarah and the child living with him makes Xander the happiest man in the world. Sarah has conceded that she actually cares deeply about Xander and he does her also. Will they make things official for their daughter now that they live together? Xander has demonstrated his ability as a father and he only wants what's best for their young girl. Will Xander and Sarah reconcile and finally give in to their feelings? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.